This is the Silver Screens of Bonds episode, the horror review number 5, and we are talking about The Silence of the Lambs from 1991. And with me is my co-host, as always, DJ Anubis, and we have an all-star cast, so I'll have everybody say hello, all that stuff, because I just, I want to give everybody the love and appreciation for doing this review as well. So I'll let everybody say hi, all that stuff right now.
We're going to start with Neko and then make your way around.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm DJ Neko.
What is this?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then next we have, underneath me, the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh, hello. I thought we were going to Anthony.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to Andre.
this is why my host over here isn't doing it right.
I thought we were going in a circle.
Oh, that's right. You're in charge. I forgot.
I'm sorry. I'm just sitting back.
You're going to be hot and wild later, mister.
Got some Goji action in the chat, some Jedi Granville.
We have also Mr. Anthony Jordan, News and Gaming, right here.
And there's Anthony Jordan. Are you frozen?
Uh-oh.
Is
It looks like he's trying to stab himself.
Or is he good? Is he trying to stab someone? Oh,
Is
no.
he there?
Plastic.
Oh. Are you okay?
Please stand by. Please
He'll
stand
figure it
by.
I think the camera was frozen.
Oh, no. You're frozen,
Or-
Anthony.
Yeah.
Or are you
There you
trolling?
go.
He's
The
back.
camera gets a little laggy sometimes.
I thought you were trolling us for a
and then
second.
also we have DJ Anubis with us.
Yeah, I'm here too, actually. Yes, I am here.
Yeah, this guy.
But this is our. I mean, I know this is Neko's pick, so I'll let Neko kind of do the first question, like Anubis does, since this is her pick this time.
Well, hold on. Let's do this because she's going to have a lot to say. So
Okay.
let's just start with Wolf, and we'll ask him, is this the first time you've seen this, or have you seen this before? How'd you feel about the film?
No. The first time I watched this, I had to be around 10 or 11 years old.
Okay.
And the first thought of it, I mean, at the age of 10, let's see if I can remember all the way back then, when I was just a wee little lad.
A wee little lad.
But if I can, I'd say at the moment, I mean, there's so many things that confuse me. I was first watching, especially there's that one scene where he escapes, and just the entire plot twist that happened within that entire sequence. I was like, wait, what's going on? And it wasn't until the end of the film I realized what just happened back early during that film. And I'm like, at the age of 10, I was like, wait, how did this all play? What did he do?
Yeah.
At the age of 10, I wasn't able to process what happened. Whereas when I watched it again, probably back when I was in high school, I was able to fully process it and be like, okay, this is exactly what happened and how he was able to do what he did.
Gotcha.
But I mean, other than that, there's not too much I can say except Anthony Hopkins, definitely great choice for Hannibal Lecter. And it's always good to see Lecter on screen once again.
Right.
Because the first film I ever watched in the entire franchise was Hannibal.
Oh, yeah. So that's later. Yeah. Anthony, how did you feel about when you first saw it, and when did you first see it?
Well, I first saw it, I believe, I want to say it was on TNT in 1999. And I had known about the movie, I just never seen it, and I was just drawn in from the go, and and more than anything, it was the dialogue in the scenes, the dialogue that sticks with me. Anthony Hopkins, he's only in a handful of scenes in this movie, but he still owns the entire movie.
Yeah.
And even just nice subtle little touches, that scene at the end when he goes, "I'm having a friend for dinner," and then
I'm having an old friend for dinner.
as you see him walk off, and just there's this commotion with the crowd, and okay, what happened? Like, it just even the ending just leaves you feeling a certain kind of way. I do really love this movie.
Olvin, I know this was your first time seeing it, so your first thoughts and how you felt about it.
Wow, I am stunned. I am impressed. This movie impressed me with what the psychological aspect. You've got Clarice's story, and you've also got Hannibal's story bouncing back and forth. And I think that's a good chemistry together. I like how you see one side of the perspective, then you see the other side as well. So I think that really, gels well with how you tell the story, because you're going from each person's point of view in a sense.
Mm-hmm. I can't remember the first time I saw the movie. But you can ask DJ Anubis. I watch it almost weekly. I mean, I don't know why I like this movie as much as I do. This was a gift from DJ Anubis for Valentine's Day. It's got Buffalo Bill and Precious looking down into the hole. I watch it all the time. I know I had to have been older. So maybe when I was in my late teens, early 20s, the first time I saw it, and I was just like, oh, it's a good movie. But I just kept watching it, and it just stays in your brain. And I don't know if you guys agree with me, but like, it's something about the movie. Even now, like, I start noticing things. Remember last night,
Yes.
I was watching
Let's
it.
talk about that, yeah.
And every time I notice another detail that was just so small, but I missed it for how many years now, and I love this movie. It even has gotten parodied so much on movies.
Show dirt.
Show dirt, like, so it doesn't really give me that terrifying horror feeling like it initially would because of how many times it's been parodied. And for me, I haven't read the books, and I am a big reader. I do try to read as much as possible, but I get scared because I like this movie so much that I'm afraid that I may not like it as much after I read the book. Mm-hmm. But that's only happened one time where I read the book and the book was terrible, and I really appreciated the movie more, where I'm like, okay, well, they did a really good job adapting it to a movie. So I want to read all of the Hannibal books, because all the movies and even
I think sometimes though that books can kind of overbloat things. So like when I think about Jaws, like I've never actually read the novel. Like I know there's a lot of extra stuff in there regarding Hooper, and I know the ending's a little bit different, but for me, like the movie is just so well done that like for me to go to read the book, we just like kind of wasting my time.
Well, that was Silver Linings Playbook for me. I loved the movie and I read the book, and I'm like, whatever they did, the adaptation to the movie was so much better than the book. It was so much more interesting. But I don't think it would be like that with these characters. I think you might just get more. You might get more.
You don't know. I mean, some of these characters are so likable in the film, probably weren't in the book.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also say this is one of those movies. There's always that debate where is it horror or a thriller, and whenever critics like a horror movie, they like to use thriller. This is one of those movies where if you want to call it a thriller, I'm not going to debate you.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I am. So like, I don't really consider this like a true horror film. It has horror elements, but it's certainly more thriller. Obviously, some of the more gory parts you could say are horrific, and it plays into that. But yeah, so Silence of the Lambs is a 1991 American psychological horror thriller film directed by Jonathan Demme and written by Ted Talley. And it stars Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Scott Glenn, and Ted Levine. But what was very interesting to me is that it also has some cameos by George A. Romero, Chris Isaac, and Roger Corman. So I think that's very interesting that I never really noticed that. So now when I go back to watch it, there's something else I have to look for. But yeah, the story tells about Jodie Foster, who plays Clarice Starling, who is a cadet who gets tasked with trying to hunt down Buffalo Bill, which at the time they don't know his name, but they just know that
They just call him Buffalo Bill.
that he's a serial killer, skinning women. They don't really know the purpose at first, and that's sort of what her job is. But she's also,
Hey, are you about a size 14?
yeah. So they spend like early parts of the film kind of dealing with the sexism of her character and what she has to kind of put up with, but she has to kind of get through that and prove her worth as a detective.
And as a small woman, do you see like all
Yeah.
the stuff that she was doing to really like she's constantly working out when they were in the fighting, you know, when they're sparring, she's got and she's got to hold her own. And every single time she always kind of felt like she was getting defeated.
Mhm.
Always. And she's probably the same size as me. I mean, I'm only 5'2", and she looked even tinier than me. So being a woman, I understand when you deal with all the men in a very heavily male-dominated industry. I've dealt with it for the last 15 years, and it takes a while to know how to play the game and get respect.
Mhm.
To answer your question, she's 5'3".
Mm.
Yeah, so you guys
So
are
I'm
right,
still tiny.
around the height.
Mm.
Now the cool thing is that this movie cost $19 million to make, but it box office hit at $272 million.
Holy shit! We call that a blockbuster.
And I'm pretty sure it got some Oscars and stuff, if I remember, because it was a very big deal about
Hopkins
how well.
got an Oscar for his portrayal of Lecter.
Of course.
Yeah, Jedi is correct too. So this movie was based off of another film called Manhunter, and it redid it a little bit, but Manhunter is a fantastic film.
Well, Manhunter was also remade into Red Dragon.
Correct. Yep.
Like down the road. Manhunter has, oh God, what is his name from CSI?
William Peterson. Yeah.
And it was crazy because I think when we watched Manhunter, it was kind of like on a whim, just it was on. And then we watched Red Dragon again on a whim. And I'm like, we've seen this.
Yeah.
And anyway, we're back to Silence of the Lambs. We're not doing the whole entire Hannibal Lecter series, but we could talk all day about Hannibal Lecter.
So she's tasked, Clarice is tasked to try to hunt down this serial killer. So she's given this task to go to this mental institution and talk with Hannibal Lecter, who clearly is in the know a little bit about who this killer is, because I guess
they wanted a psychological profile.
Right. And
they wanted his expertise.
Correct. So yeah, I'll turn it over to Neko. I'll let her go through and because I'm not going to speak much. So here we go. Let the master over here.
No, you talk out commentary.
Yeah. Well, no. You look at her shirt. Obviously, did you also show them what I got you?
No, my mommy got me this, but
Right.
You told my mommy.
I told your mom that.
So I got. I don't know if anybody out there is also a Jeep owner, but when you have a Jeep, you have duckies, and then you give each other duckies. So I just got my Jeep 2 months ago, and my mommy bought me
the Hannibal Lecter ducky.
Hannibal Lecter ducky. I'm trying to get him. There we go.
So there's little ducks that they collect, the Jeep owners collect, and they put them on their dashboards. And it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
I can confirm that. I had a friend of mine back in high school that had a Jeep, and he liked to put stuff on his dashboard all the time.
It's just I don't know how it started, but
a while ago I got the Godzilla one that was made.
Oh, did we show? It's in the.
I showed it a while back.
So when I bought the Jeep, they gave me a duck, and then that's just how it. Anyway, Clarice is visiting Hannibal to make contact with him in a way that is a little deceptive. Because she doesn't really know the total reason why she's there, but he knows. Hannibal knows that they want him to give a psychological profile. But literally, she's just passing through some paperwork, but he's so perceptive and he knows that she's being sent there because, oh my God, what's his name? The agent. I'm blanking out.
Starling or
her boss, the guy.
Jack Crawford.
Thank you.
Jack Crawford.
Yeah, because Crawford, if you don't know, Silence of the Lambs is kind of like in the middle of the timeline, right? Crawford is the one who ends up catching Hannibal. And that's how he ends up in this mental institution.
It should be noted, too, that Clarice's character arc is great in this. Like, she starts out kind of meek and, trying to prove herself, but in the end, she becomes like this very strong person and does a great job. So that's a really cool thing about the film.
I loved how she just marched downstairs and she's trying to compose herself, and she's doing pretty good, like being face to face with Hannibal the cannibal. And that's when we get the epic line when he says
quid pro quo.
Quid pro quo. But no, a census taker. I ate his liver with some baba beans and a nice Chianti. So she's really seeing how he's able to like worm his way into people's minds. And this is their first interaction, and she really starts getting curious about him, but also a little, obviously this is a scary place. It's like a dungeon. So after she meets with him and she gives the paperwork and he's like, okay, I'll give you what you want, kind of thing. So she goes back and I'm losing track of the timeline.
Well, yeah. So she visits Lecter, and then his deal is, I'm going to give you some information, but you're going to give me some information, because he likes playing those kind of mind games. That's what he does. So obviously she kind of goes back and she's actually hunting down this other person that was, I think, I forget what the purpose was, but this is where she finds
it's supposed to be one of Lecter's former patients, but it turns out it's an acronym for something.
Yeah. So obviously, he's kind of giving her a little bit of information and all that, but also we get this other part of the movie where we get to see Ted Levine's character, Buffalo Bill, kidnapping the senator's daughter. And it's actually one of Neko's favorite moments, because it's like, oh, size 14, perfect.
Well, it's because it's everything you hear about serial killers. Like, who was it? Ted Bundy. He was always like, oh, I got a broken arm. I can't. Oh, can you help me? So what really is depressing to me is the girl gets home. She sees her cat in the window and she like, hi, kitty. And then she sees this dude and she's like, hey, miss, she's trying to be polite. Hey, mister, can I help you out with that? You look kind of handicapped. And then he's like, yeah, help me in the back of my, what?
I did like, when he's like, yeah, just step in the back. The kid's back, he's like, club.
And then he's like, hey, are you about a size 14?
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
What?
Hi, Jake.
Hey, Jake.
Mm.
Sorry.
And he puts on enough charm that you would let your guard down around him.
I think that's correct. I think that's what it is. Like, I mean, as a woman, and if I saw somebody struggling, now maybe not as much now that I'm older, but when I was younger, I was a little bit more naive and a little bit more empathetic, but I grew up and lived in Baltimore for 100 years until we moved to the middle of nowhere.
Uh-huh.
And you kind of get wise to, shady stuff.
Now, they do find out, too, through another victim where the skin has been taken off the back, that inside the mouth there's a catalyst of a chrysalis of a death head moth. And so that becomes like a telling sign of the Buffalo Bill character and is what he does.
And I really liked how, after they got to that scene when they found that woman, they really, like, that was something too that you guys were pointing out, like, about Clarice, that she really had a great character arc, because at the beginning they were kind of like, all right, just what's his face? Jack Crawford was like, you and you come in here and we'll talk. And then he left Clarice out, and Clarice was, pissed. And then she was actually kind of having some anxiety because she was remembering her dad's funeral. But she stood her ground and really put her foot down. And she, it was probably the first dead body that she ever dealt with. And she really just kind of handled it, I think, as best as anyone could. I don't know what I would do if I ever were in that situation ever. Like,
what's really fascinating is it's like Lecter's the only one that like actually believes in her, and like in his own twisted way, he's mentoring her.
Yes.
100%.
Yes. Yeah, he's like, even if you go, if anybody that's never seen these films, even if you go and watch the rest of them, I hate to say, but he's almost like an anti-hero in some ways. Like, it's really bizarre, just his character, because he is kind of a bad person. But like, again, as you said, in this case, he sees, he almost senses that her own people are throwing her to the wolves by putting her down there. And so he's like, okay, well, I'll run with this. I'm going to have fun with her, but I'm also going to teach her how to stand up for herself and find this guy.
And she kept, the one thing that he kept saying is, everything you need to know is in that case file. Like, she gave him the case file, and he's like, no, everything that you need to know is in that case file. But she would just kept pressing and pressing, give me the information. And he's like, basically saying, you can figure this out on your own.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to spell it out for you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think one thing that Lecter does love is intelligence, and so for him, having somebody that's equally as intelligent or can think out things is really intriguing to him. He likes that.
That's why he really respected Will Graham.
Not even someone that's equally intelligent, just someone that's smart enough to like think outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's why he respected Will Graham, because Will Graham was smart enough to figure out that he was the cannibal there after all that time.
Yep. Yeah, one thing I will say is that Anthony Harold, who plays Dr. Frederick Chilton, he's a great villain in this. Like, I really hated his character. He was kind of
an asshole. Like, did you think that?
Yeah, he wanted to steal the spotlight because he was so worried about her making ground with Lecter that he's like, I'm the psychiatrist, not her. I should be able to get this guy to talk. So he was like a real pain in the ass in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So, Olvin, this being your first time watching the movie, what was your favorite or like most shocking part that you liked, or if you didn't like it?
Okay, so my favorite part, so I like how he escapes from prison. I like how he Big Bad Wolf put it this way. He says he stole the lockpick from Clarice, and there's I like how, the two guards come into the cell, and he's like chained to it against a wall. And I like how he escapes because it's pretty unique. He's handcuffed, and then he uses the lockpick to escape the handcuffs. I like also, I think it's different how he bites the one guard's face, and then I think he kills some. He goes and gets a disguise from that guard.
Mm-hmm.
I love
disguise.
He cuts off his face,
yes,
and head and his scalp.
I like
that. Was crazy.
And that's cool because for most of the film, we see Lecter as more as this intelligent, thought-provoking kind of guy. But then when that scene happens, it's like you just see the real evil and turn that he can be. Hannibal Lecter.
You see a predator.
And
he's truly.
You've
sorry,
seen
Anthony.
so much of that side of him that as the audience, you have completely let your guard down about him. And then it's just,
Exactly.
it's like a wake-up call to see what he's capable of.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't you feel like almost sympathetic to him at the beginning because you're like, oh, you're down here, you don't have a window, you're this intelligent, you're a doctor, you're a psychiatrist, and then like you just know what he's done, but you've never witnessed it, and then like Alvin said, he just bites somebody's face off like an animal.
Yep.
But also a nice detail too that you guys have mentioned. There's so many different details. The lamb chops.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because, well, if it's not going to really count, especially for those who got to see this in theater before Red Dragon, because this film came out before Red Dragon, whereas the book series, Red Dragon came first.
Yes.
But for those that watched or read the books, I never read the books, but say going back onto Red Dragon, how Will Graham caught Hannibal Lecter was he looked through this dictionary. There was like this certain part of the human body, an organ, and Hannibal Lecter had labeled next to it lamb chops. And that's how Will Graham figured out that Hannibal Lecter was the killer thereafter.
Yeah, it was the pancreas. And I think he put something like in quotations like sweetbreads or something crazy.
It was like sweetbread.
Looking through the cookbook.
Yeah, there was like another page and there was like another organ that said lamb chops.
It was crazy, right? Like I think it was like a cookbook, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty much his cookbook, as I think it was like a book of the entire human anatomy. And he was just labeling certain parts and how he was going to prepare it and what he was going to label it as. So it was so nice. He'd be like, oh, hey, this is shortbreads.
Yeah, I'm gonna make myself some lamb chops today.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
But I tell you what, when you watch an NBC series, it makes you really hungry when you see him cook.
I know, but we know it's people.
Mads Mikkelsen was great.
He was very good. But the problem is we know it's people. Are we going to eat people?
But we do learn in this movie that Buffalo Bill has a purpose, and that is to basically, when they say trying to wear your skin, he actually puts it to use. He wants to be a woman. He's someone who's been trying to go through gender reassignment. Obviously has past trauma dealing with women, but that's his purpose. That's why he's taking skin from women, asked about their sizes and stuff like that. So obviously he's kidnapped the senator's daughter and has her down as well. Now, one thing that Neko and I know about, we met this guy a few years ago at the Joe Bob Briggs drive-in when we went there one summer, and this guy was there, and this guy had bought in the house to where this was filmed for Buffalo Bill. And he actually owns it now as like a bed and breakfast, and he has all the nostalgic pieces.
He tried to make it look like the movie.
Yeah.
And then like the well in the basement was not really in the basement in that house, obviously, but he made like a little fake well. It's not a hole in the ground. It's just like a little thing. And they have like a little precious stuffed animal that's in the house. So it's
I got a friend I went to high school with. He's friends with the guy that owns that house.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It was just we definitely want to do it. Like, and you can get, because it has like 4 bedrooms.
It's not necessarily cheap, but I would think.
But if you get like a couple of people
Yeah.
to go, you could split it up and spend the night. But he also does tours too. It's not super far. I mean, it's a little bit because it's in Pennsylvania, but it's like in northwestern Pennsylvania. But it was just, he was selling lip balm, Silence of the Lamb lip balm.
Yeah.
And I bought some, of course. It's just,
Yeah, so that was cool. But obviously, there's a scene where Buffalo Bill's dancing. And so, he's kind of playing the Goodbye Horses and stuff like that. But I sent Alvin a little video because, as Neko pointed out earlier, there's been a lot of parody work of this movie because such appreciation for it. So obviously, Jay and Silent Bob did their own version of it, and so go ahead, Alvin, and play the video.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's David Dalmatian. Oh my god.
Identify yourselves, motherfuckers! I'm Jay, and this is my Hannibal Life made Silent Bob.
So yeah, there you go.
You guys have to watch all of.
I think
Oh
I
my God.
recognize that guy, David.
Yeah, like that's actually I didn't even know. That's the first time I noticed that was from that film because that was in 2005 that Clerks 2. So now he's like, he's the guy who just did Late Night with the Devil. So he's like gaining his own popularity.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Also
so
photo,
obviously Buffalo Bill, he's
I just
doing
left a comment on Buffalo Bill, in fact, in the comments. I don't know if you saw it in the comments.
Hey, it's
The
Tony.
victim that was cut up from Buffalo. Oh yeah, because it was the victim that was cut up from Buffalo Bill. He was making a pattern.
Yeah. I noticed it on the detail. I'm like, I paused it and I run it back for Big Bad Wolf when we were watching it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really, really, a small detail that you have to run it back slowly to notice the victim is cut up. And I mean, there's so many details with this film. You could, like you said, Neko, that you could go back and watch it and you'll notice, exactly that. You'll see details that you've never seen before. And that's what I love about films. You can watch them as many times as you need and you'll notice a lot of cool details that you've never seen the first time.
Exactly. And-
especially the one you caught recently.
oh God, yeah. Talking about Buffalo Bill, my guy, he was getting all wound up. What part was it where he like fluffed his blanket?
Yeah,
And his blanket has swastikas all over it.
yeah.
Oh, I
And what
noticed
is, like-
that. I noticed that.
I had never seen that before until
noticed
last
that
night.
before. And I paused it and I was like, look at this. Look at this. Because I watched it again last night, obviously. Because
Yeah.
why not? Why not?
And it
watch
should be noted, since we're talking about what he's doing, the fact that it did take inspiration from the real life serial killer Ed Gein.
Yes, yep.
And I find it interesting how towards the end when Clarice is like figuring out what's going on, and she saw like in that little music box those pictures, and she's like, oh, and then she sees like the dress form, and that's how she starts putting it together. And again, not a lot of dudes, unless they are sewing or into fashion, understand like that's how you piece together quilt work. And it really, she's like, he knows how to sew, he knows how to do this, he knows how to do that. And then when she's talking to Crawford, he's like, yes, we know, but they're all in the wrong place.
Yep.
Why am I blinking?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Try to back out and come back in.
How do I do that?
Just remove yourself.
How do I do that?
At the bottom.
Where?
All
You
right,
want
hold
me
on.
to?
They were on the same chapter, just a different book.
This?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
That's all right.
Please stand by.
Go talk on them.
Tony's talking to you in the chat.
Then go into here. One of these because we'll have a link.
Here?
Yeah.
Go over
Should
there.
be on Messenger Anubis also.
I know I had to take care of something.
All good, hopefully.
I was blinking.
I need new cameras to be honest.
I don't think it's the cameras. I think it's the
Well, it's probably the cat chewing on it.
no.
Whoa, you didn't mute it.
Sorry. Let me leave. How do I mute?
Gotta go back out.
You good?
Keep talking. talking, guys.
Do you want me to?
There. No, she's getting it. Go ahead. You guys can talk about it, man.
Tell me.
You don't need me there. You can do it.
Did you see what Tommy said?
Echo Neko, yeah. That's about what it is now.
Oh, that's clever.
Yeah.
There's
I'm back.
There you go.
Does my hair look bad?
No.
Okay.
no.
I'm muted now. So, anyway, where were we? Let's talk about all.
I think we were talking about a little
We
bit
were
about
talking about that he
Bill.
was the one that noticed the dress thing.
Oh yeah, the Nazi symbols.
The
No,
Nazi
the
symbol-
Clarice
dress-
was looking through
The
the
thing,
Dress
the
form.
dress
Oh, the
form
dress form,
in the
yeah.
files.
and Clarice was looking
What?
for. Oh,
What'd you do?
I don't know. It says looks like my mic was unplugged.
No, what do you? You're fine. Your mic is through me.
I didn't touch anything. It just kicked me out. You guys keep talking. Like, it's fine. I'll get back in.
All right.
Okay.
what we were talking about was that Clarice was looking through the box and she knows all the pictures and knows all the pictures lined up to how when people sew dresses and all of that.
Yeah, that's interesting because it's how he's. Although I would think though, and this is just overthinking, but trying to sew through skin would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can only imagine just how tough the material our skin is made from actually is to sew through. I mean, here's something I had to look up as I was watching this film because he kept saying it puts the lotion on his skin and also gets the hose again. I had to look up why he kept pushing to put lotion on. It's
Probably to
because
soften it up.
yeah, pretty much it's to help hydrate. It's what makes it easier for him to remove the skin from the body.
Yeah.
You gotta think like skin is like leather. Like if a person's making leather shoes or a leather handbag or something.
Oh.
I fucking quit.
I'll be back when I look at this.
Go ahead.
But yeah, so pretty much skin is made from leather. It's kind of like no different than leather and all of that.
Yeah, it doesn't need your.
Yeah, and
Does
I
everyone
think
want
like,
to
as
take
far
off
as
from
even
that?
like commercial like raised cows where they do sell the meat for not just the meat, but they
Now you
sell
got
the
three
hide for leather. I think they do a lot of extra skincare for those
Yeah,
cows.
got 3 different stream yards open.
How did I have 3 different stream yards open?
Yeah, probably so.
Is it all good?
No.
I hope.
We need to get, so that's another thing we're going to upgrade is we're getting hopefully some new computers, but
That's for a while yet, though. But yeah.
the computer
That's
here
my plan too.
the computer keeps telling me it wants to restart, which scares me.
Oh, that's probably updates, but don't do that.
I didn't.
Continue. We'll
I just X'd out. It said, please restart.
Yeah, that computer would take you like 5 hours to restart, so don't do it.
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be something best to do right before you go
hey,
to
it
bed.
says the same thing again, Anubis.
Yeah, I know. Let me look at it.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in case you haven't figured it out, this stream is sponsored by Technical Difficulties.
Anthony, you said it best.
It's probably because of that.
This stream is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
The game everyone accepts the sponsorship for, but no one plays.
Here, since this is psychological horror, this stream is sponsored by BetterHelp. If we wanted to go to therapy but we're too lazy to go in person, here's BetterHelp. If we wanted to go to a counselor that you hate so you want to switch on the fly like a hooker, get BetterHelp.
Yeah.
These little moments are the real magic of streaming.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I think Bill is an interesting character, though, trying to dress like a woman. It's like you're trying to change his gender and stuff with the movie, and that's something like, wow, out of wackiness in a good way.
How do you make yourself?
Because it even does state with him in the movie that it is
Okay.
like a complex thing to transition. You have to go through years of therapy, and like the therapy he went through, they determined he didn't qualify, so him making this skin suit is his way of actually transitioning because they won't let him do it.
I mean that his part was the most disturbing part in the movie, especially I think there's a scene which all of a sudden when I watched it, I was literally covering the screen in my head. I'm like, nope, I am not seeing that. And it was like, I think if I understand correctly, because Family Guy made a jab at this in an episode, and I think what happened was Buffalo Bill shoved his up his you know what. And I'm like, okay, this has to be the most disturbing part. That's probably the most disturbing part of the film.
Yeah. Wow.
I think for me the most disturbing part of the film was honestly what we talked about a little bit ago when we saw how violent that Hannibal could be. It's kind of scary because you think about he's so calm, cool, and collected, and they said that at one point you know, at the beginning when Clarice is, you know, going to meet him, and the doctor was like, his heart rate never went over 80 when he like beat the guy to death. And I'm like, okay, that sounds scary. But then when you see him acting so calculated the way that he did, that was a little bit scary. And then, oh my God, when, you know, he had the face on and the other cop is just like right there and they're like, just talk to him. He's your fellow policeman. Like, God damn it. Just keep talking to him. And
Yeah.
anyway.
That guy he like had strung up in the cell, like that, if you just have to see that movie once and that image is forever burned into your brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree completely on that.
Yeah, that's the first time I actually noticed that when I watched it. Because when I watched it today, because when I saw that one scene, I was like, oh, I don't remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you actually saw that guy completely disembowel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's like looking like an angel, you know?
And it's also like, it's so like the movie up to this point really hadn't been that graphic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just get like this 5-10 minutes of just this very graphic ongoing violence, and it's just jarring. It's like this huge wake-up call in a good way.
Yeah, I think the reason why I remember now why I wasn't so fazed with Silence of the Lambs, because around that time before that, I happened to watch Hannibal before that film.
This movie wanted how amazing this movie is to me. It's like, now I want to go watch Hannibal. I want to watch Hannibal Rising, all these other movies.
You gotta.
Because, I mean, it's a whole universe, you know, of characters and stuff with it.
And make sure to see Manhunter while you're at it.
Yeah, I would start there, actually. And then just move on to other stuff there. But all of them, you know, are great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it says about me, but I love Hannibal Lecter. He's just such, like Anubis was saying, like a psychological, you know, mastermind. Everything that he does is just perfection. It's calculated. And
which is great because, you know, at the end when she's kind of getting her award for capturing Buffalo Bill,
and graduating.
Hannibal like places a call at that moment to say, "How you doing? I'm on vacation." You know, he's like,
and he said too, "You won't be able to trace this call, and I will not come after you, and I expect the same courtesy from you." He was, and I, you know, you could tell she was a little bit scared after he was released, but when he said that to her. And she was kind of scared, but then she was like, if I say nothing, I'll be fine. And we see that
And that's probably my only like kind of little gripe is that she didn't like Foster didn't reprise the role as Clarice going forward, which I thought was sucky. But
it just
I thought she
her
looked
name
small.
in Hannibal, like it just didn't work having her in it.
yeah,
Yeah, now that you guys mention that, I thought Clarice looked a lot taller in that film.
Tony, what he
In
said.
Hannibal, compared to, I thought she looked a lot bigger and taller in Hannibal than she did in Silence of the Lambs.
yeah.
It was a different actress.
Julianne Moore.
Yeah, it was Julianne Moore.
And she's not a bad actress, but like I love, like, for me personally, whenever you do like continuations to a movie and series and trilogies or whatever, I like to kind of see the same people portraying the actors. I think that's sort of important just for continuity, to be
It makes it
continued.
feel like it's an actual story and universe and not just,
Right.
hey, we're going
Right.
to make these random movies.
Right.
But I don't think Jodie Foster, she hasn't, like, after Silence of the Lambs, like, I'm trying to think of a lot of she
did like smaller roles like Inside Man and stuff like that. Over the
she's
years.
very selective. She doesn't act a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff that she did in the 70s was, she was a child and she did some quite risque things.
Yeah.
Like Taxi Driver,
Foxes.
Foxes.
Like after this, like the biggest big budget movie she did was the I can't think of the name of it, but the one with the alien signal.
I think it's Control or something like that, or Contact. I think is called.
Contact.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, she
shoot,
did
I
do a
realized Jodie Foster was in that hotel film, Hotel
Which one?
Artemis.
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Well, she did a good movie around either a year before or around when she did Silence. It was called either I want to say To Deceive, but I'm not sure. It's when she was playing a character that got raped
Catch
in a
Fire.
bar. Huh?
Catch Fire.
No. It's from the early 90s.
So this was 1990 was Catch Fire.
No, it just starts with a D. I can't remember the name of it offhand, but
1 second.
The Departed?
no. It was based off a real story event that happened in the 80s.
Oh, about the rapes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually think Jodie Foster did an excellent job in this movie. She was
Oh, she did.
the centerpiece for this, if you think about it.
Mhm.
Like,
Was
everything that happened around her.
Anthony was.
Could it have been The Accused?
Yes. Thank you. So it was not a D, but yeah, The Accused. You're right. Yep. Yeah, that's a good film. She was really good in that.
But that's one thing about Jodie Foster. She's very selective about her roles that she takes. Not for any particular reason. I think she's just selective.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, again, the last film I remember being in was, I think it's called Hotel Artemis or something, but it's like a hospital for criminals where Dave Bautista plays his son and also the guard at the hospital.
Yeah, I saw that a while back. Don't remember much from it, but I do remember watching it.
So one thing that I always ask about this film, and maybe when I actually read the book, I'll learn more. I was curious about Buffalo Bill's insect collection, where he had all those death head moths, and like what the purpose was. And I was wondering, like, since he's a seamstress, if it was something to do with silk, or if they just never really kind of fleshed that out in the movie. It was just kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And when they found the chrysalis in the first victim's throat, they were like, and Jodie or Clarice took it to her friends at the library. They were like, this is very rare. This is not from around here. This needs to be taken care of with humidity and heat, etc. So I'm wondering, like, I would like a little bit more information, which again, maybe it's in the books, but that's one like loose end in my head where how does Buffalo Bill become this I don't know what the right scientific word is for
According to a Google search, so take it for a grain of salt, it symbolizes the serial killer's warped desires for transformation into a woman.
Yes. Yes.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I wonder how he got into ordering these exotic
Well,
insects.
Well, it's called Death Head
In the
Mom. So
day and
that's
age before the internet.
Maybe you went through something similar to a Repticon, like what Anubis goes to get a tarantula.
Maybe.
Also, one thing I like about this movie is the final confrontation between Bill and Clarice. I like how, it's like it's saying, turn around, and she just blind fires at him quickly. It's like, oh my gosh, she could have killed her if she hadn't turned around real quick.
I really liked that part too, Alvin. I liked how it was almost like a callback to the beginning when Clarice was training, and remember she went into the room and she was like, doing her thing, and the guy's like, "Oh, you're dead, Starling." So it felt like she really learned from her mistake and her training to come in and be more prepared and check her corners, check behind her. And but the other creepy part too about that scene was he's got like the night vision goggles on and she can't see, and he's doing like this,
he's like kind of touching her hair,
like as close as he can to her. That was creepy, right? Right.
There's so many like nice little details in this movie.
Yeah. So let's give our final thoughts and ratings for Silence of the Lambs. Let's start with Anthony.
Well, great movie. It's definitely a classic, and it's one of those movies that after you watch it, it will stick with you. And it's probably not going to end well for me if I give it anything less than a 10 out of 10, because I'm sure Neko will find a way to get me. So,
Who cares, Anthony? Just give it what you think.
You can give it what you think, just because
I know I'm just being funny, but yeah, 10 out of 10.
John.
Okay, so going back and watching it like 3 times, and the third time noticing some details, I will say, like Anthony says, it's definitely a classic. The biggest strength is probably just Anthony Hopkins in the film, just because his to portray Hannibal Lecter always go down as one of the old greats, because anytime you Anthony Hopkins, you're always going to refer to Hannibal Lecter. Over all of his other works, you're always going to refer to him as Hannibal Lecter. That's all you're going to see him as. So to see that scene when they finally depict him being a predator rather than just this criminal analyzer that he used to be before he got caught, it's very interesting. Very good film, and I mean, it's very criminal to not. I would say this one's definitely a 9 out of 10.
Neko.
I cannot say enough about this film. Obviously, I could talk about it all day. If you would take me out and if you told me that we could talk about Silence of the Lambs all night, I would. I absolutely adore this movie. As I said, I watched it twice this week. I probably watched it last month. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 if I have the Hannibal Lecter rubber ducky. Now I need a Buffalo Bill or a Precious. I wanna get a Bichon Frise. That's what Precious is. She's a Bichon Frise.
I used to have a cat named Precious.
My precious. We'll call the dog Gollum.
She was a tortoiseshell cat with 6 toes on each paw.
Oh, she was polydactyl. Oh, so I also feel like I need to. I loved, again, another thing that I didn't talk about was Catherine getting herself out. She knew that dog was the only thing that Buffalo Bill loved, right? And she did everything she could to get the power in her hands. And that part where she's in the well and she sees all the fingernails from people who were trying to claw their way out from the well, and she was smart. And that whole part, God, where she's like, Mister, I got your dog down here. She's hurt real bad. And he's like, don't you hurt my dog. 10 out of 10. 110 out of 10. Sorry.
Yeah. Great cast, fantastic acting, great writing, great directing. Definitely a wonderful movie. Definitely recommended for anybody who hasn't seen this film. And like everyone else, it's a 10 out of 10. Fantastic film, certainly.
For me, it is all. I really love the story. I think it's story. This movie has now propelled me enough that I want to check out the others in the universe of the Hannibal movies. I don't know what the universe is called. If it's just, I don't know what the, if it's like.
It's not really called a universe. It's just sequels, basically.
Yeah.
It's its own little universe. I mean, it's kind of like what you would think about James Bond, Alvin. Like, is it the James Bond universe or just, the James Bond movies? I think you need to see next. Don't you think Alvin would dig Red Dragon?
Yes. But you would have to watch Manhunter first, because that's actually what Red Dragon is kind of like a reboot of.
So I say to him, watch Red Dragon first, then watch Manhunter, because he'll appreciate Manhunter more.
Yeah.
I really think that Alvin, for whatever reason, I don't know why I think he would like Red Dragon. I think it's just like the videos, you know what I mean? Like the whole like video thing and the guy. Yeah. You got to check that out. I think it will be right up your alley.
But for me also, this movie is a 10 out of 10. And I like the cast, the characters, this universe. It's like, it's the beginning of like a cinematic universe. I even could see Hollywood doing a new movie in this universe if with how everything is now with casting and stuff. I could see them doing something like a new movie. I could see them doing like a new movie from scratch, like even
like building off of it.
Yeah,
I could see it too. I mean, there's so much you could take, right? And then if you see the other movies, right?
Yes.
You're gonna see the other movies, right?
Yes, I will.
Stretchy, John.
Do we want to go through upcoming content?
Sure. Let's start with Mr. Jordan.
Well, gearing up for Montober, I'm watching and editing reviews for the Phantasm movies. The next one on the list is Phantasm 4, as well as my gameplay stuff. I might pick up my Resident Evil 2 stream tomorrow afternoon, because I kind of want to get to the House of Ashes as quick as possible. We got the Olivin and Anubis will be joining me Thursday for a discussion about weapons, and sometime in October, we need to get together and hammer out the date. The Ghouls of Midnight, DJ Anubis and Mr. Tony of the Dead are going to be joining me for a live discussion of the original Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Yep.
Tony gave it his ranking.
Not yet, Tony. Not
Tony
yet.
Are joking to each other.
I give it a 10. Fucking 10.
By the way, Tony, you're the best part of that film we watched, Night of the Axe.
Yes, you are.
He is the best part of Night of the Axe. He had the best kill.
We were joking when Tony's part came up and he sees the killer, and I could see it now, like, Anubis, is that you? Take the mask off.
Like, damn it, Anubis, it was funny the first time. Just like a little Easter egg.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can't wait until, because Tony and Anubis are going to go be in this next movie, which is Spirit Board. And I am going to go and hang out and watch. I might actually go get my hair done first while they're
going in also, so she can act as well.
Neko is not interested. No thanks. I'm not going to ask Sean. I'm not going to beg.
He might beg you.
He's got his final girl. He's got a scream queen. He don't
You might still need somebody to just be an extra.
You know what I'll do? I'll bring you guys lunch.
That worked.
I'll go get some crafty for you guys. I'll bring you guys lunch. It's about the time.
Yeah, Tony, I went out and got my pants and my suspenders already, so I'm good. I got my hat ordered. I'm good.
Oh, you ordered that?
You're gonna look like a Kansas farmer.
No, it's
more we're supposed to be like
retro, like 1920s.
Yeah, it's a bit like we're just kind of like a lynch mob, I think the characters we're playing or something like that. So
he's gonna wear suspenders, which is kind of fun. So anyway, back to The Silence of the Lambs. We all love the movie, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
John, do you have anything coming up on your channel?
Not really. I've been trying to find a way to get content out because I literally ran out of videos I had because I was trying to delete a lot of things to get enough space into my computer in order to record and edit more videos. And so now I'm trying to find content now. Because a lot of my
your gameplay though.
Well, I like doing funny gameplay stuff with people because I can do funny edits and stuff in there. Which is why I've been trying to keep touch with Anubis, Orphan, Anthony, and Mr. Matt Jacobson for stuff.
You did kind of tease something that you want to do in the future as well with everyone. So Anubis, I did send you that link to all the games, so hopefully you and Orphan may get interest from that.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I haven't had a chance yet.
And then not only that, but I've also been continuing writing True Instincts 2. I'm actually almost done with that. And once done, Matt Jacobson, be prepared in your DMs. I'll be sending that to you.
I think you had something about Killer Clowns from Outer Space as well, like everybody, doing this.
It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, well, I told Orphan, wait till it comes on sale, because right now it's $40 on Steam. Let's not like everyone pay that much money.
Wait, that's a game? There's a Killer Clowns
game? Yeah, it's made by the same people who made... Yeah, it's made by the same people who made Friday the 13th.
I loved the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
We might just have to get you on when we do that.
Well, I've never played the game.
Oh, the movie, I'm saying.
As for me, tomorrow I'll be getting with Kevin Lambert. We're going to do a Lone Wolf with Dub as we review Ip Man with Donnie Yen. And then coming up on Wednesday for my Goals of Midnight pick, I've got Divinity from 2023 that Mr. Tony and I are going to review. And I don't think he's figured out his yet, but we'll have it up. We'll be doing a review on that night. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got so far. And then, of course, as Anthony mentioned, Thursday, doing with Olvin doing weapons review of that. So,
are you going to do a review of weapons?
Yeah, you and I did one already, but they want to do one together as well. They just watched it the other day.
Yeah, well, we were discussing it, and it was kind of like an impulsive thing. Like, we'll do it on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, really. For me.
That's all
As for me, I just got done the other day, finished the intro for the upcoming Tokusatsu show. So we'll be I have to put it into the computer next and make it that way. So that'll be on Henshin Revolution podcast. The other one is Henshin Highlight, where we're going to go into the lore, characters, villains, all that kind of cool, geeky stuff. And then also we have a comic show. Me and Gojira851 eventually are going to do talking comic book characters with that show. We also, me and Gojira851 are currently doing a Gears of War Reloaded playthrough, as it's a total blast, and that we're continuing that. Then next Saturday, I don't know if you've teased it yet, your pick for next Savants is The Thing. Kurt
1982.
I want in
Have
on
you
that.
not seen The Thing yet, Alden?
No.
Oh God, I really think you're gonna like it. I really do.
Tony.
Fun fact, it's based off of a novella.
And I think that's everything for me.
I have no content coming up except for how awesome I look right now. So
And I'm sure you and Anubis will be doing another episode of your show that you guys do together soon or something.
Yeah, we do the Cultiverse stuff soon, but yeah, we'll work that in.
maybe.
Yeah, Tony, I haven't seen The Thing. I've seen the 2011, but not the OG original.
That's
Yeah,
next
OG.
Saturday.
Yes,
Yep.
that's next Saturday.
Definitely count me in on that one.
Awesome.
I like too. I like The Thing.
We welcome anybody that wants to talk
Yes.
about
This will be DJ Anubis's. The Thing is like one of his most favorite movies.
Like I said, I've talked about it with Alden before. Like down the road, we're probably gonna do a Nightmare on Elm Street because he hasn't seen that either. And that's one of Neko's favorite films too.
I was so obsessed with Freddy Krueger when I was little that I had a Ken doll that I turned into Freddy Krueger.
Oh,
And he
NECA,
used to murder my Barbies.
NECA next month has a Nightmare on Elm Street 4 Freddy glove made out of real metal coming out, and it's like $75. Like, I'm gonna try and do my very best to be able to get it.
But anyways, this has been Silver Screen Savants. This has been horror episode number 5 for horror reviews. Tune in next week for that. And go check out all these awesome content creators. All their links are in the description below. So I'm sure they'll have all awesome content on their channels this week coming out. But anyways, we will see you all next time on Silver Screen Savants.
Yeah.
Later.